Hi, my name is Judah, and this is my first ever deck profile, and it is going to be on Shaddolls. This deck is really great, and I think it's going to do great during Master Duel 5, even though they may have limited instant fusion. I still believe this deck could do really well. So here, let me just move these out of the way. This deck consists of above 40, around 40, and it can go over 40, just depends on what you want to use. My version consists on 3 schematas. Move that away. Whoops. There we go. Schemata. It's like the Fool's Barrel of the deck. You send it for a fusion. Its effect becomes triggered. You're then allowed to send any Shaddoll card. You could send Rush Shaddoll, for example. If I can pull it out. Rush Shaddoll, which allows you to pretty much flip your Shaddolls face up, face down if it's in the graveyard. You could send another Shaddoll spell, or you can send another monster, which all the Shaddolls pretty much have effects that trigger if they're sent to the graveyard by card effect. Then I play Shaddoll Hedgehog. Shaddoll Hedgehog, what he does is he allows you to add a Shaddoll monster from your deck to your hand if he is sent to the graveyard by card effect. And they all have flip effects, by the way. Shaddoll Schemata, whenever it's flipped, allows you to destroy one monster on the field, whether it be yours or your opponent's. Shaddoll Hedgehog, whenever it's flipped, it allows you to add a spell trap that lists Shaddoll in it to your hand from your deck. Then we play the recent one that came out recently, Shaddoll Wendy. This card is amazing. Flip it up, whenever it's flipped, it allows you to special summon a Shaddoll monster from your deck in face up or face down. So in case you want to have it face up, so you then do El Shaddoll Fusion, or if you want to have it face down, so then that way you can be able to flip it up next turn, or use your Rush Shaddoll Incarnation from your graveyard to flip it up. Then we play 3 Shaddoll Falco. I am wondering whether or not it's a good idea, because it can cause you to brick a lot, as you can only use its effect once per turn. Each of these you can only use one effect of each effect once per turn. And with Shaddoll Falco, if it's flipped, you can target one Shaddoll monster in your graveyard, special summon it in face down position. And if it gets sent to the graveyard by card effect, you special summon it back in face down defense position. Which I'm wondering if maybe limit it to 1 or 2. I'm still wondering about that. Anyway, though, 3 for me works great. I then use the other recent one that came out, Nail Shaddoll Aerial. I probably just butchered that. But the best thing about this, Called by the Grave, sort of. It's like DD Crow, except you can target 3 if it's flipped. Or if it's sent to the graveyard, you can banish 3 cards from either player's graveyard, not just your own. Meaning that you could target 3 cards in your opponent's graveyard that they need in the graveyard, which is good against Shaddoll, which is good against Shaddolls as well. Or Salamangreats, Rockets, Mech Knights. Well, not Mech Knights. Mech Knights require their cards to be banished. But those are really good, which also, if it gets flipped up, you can target one of your banished Shaddoll monsters and special summon it. Then face up or face down. And then play 2 Shaddoll Beasts. Great card to summon off of Rush Shaddoll or Reshaddoll. Whenever it's flipped, you draw 2 cards, you discard 1 card, and whenever it gets sent to the graveyard by card effect, you draw a card. Good way to draw more cards if you ever need to. And I like it. And then I just use 2 Quad Shaddolls. Good if I'm going first to then pitch another Shaddoll from my hand, but also use it for El Shaddoll Construct to fusion up, because pretty much the only way else I'm going to do it is with Super Poly and stuff like that, which it's going to be hard to do. Right. And then I play some hand traps. I play 2 DD Crow, 2 Ghost Ogre, and 2 Effect Veiler, which is almost every opening hand I've had. I've either had an Effect Veiler, a DD Crow, or a Ghost Ogre. Sometimes one of each, or sometimes one of 2, which just works out really great. And here, let me just grab all these. And let's go to spells. Of course, we're playing Fusion, meaning we're going to need 3 El Shaddoll Fusion. If you're not playing any fusions in a Shaddoll deck, what are you doing? But amazing card, Fusion Summon. It's like Polymerization, but using only Shaddolls. And additional effect is, if you're going second and you use it, and your opponent has special summoned a monster from the extra deck, you can instead use monsters from your deck to fusion, which is great, meaning that if your opponent just has maybe Red Dragon Archfiend or something else, you can then, or any monster in the extra deck, including Crystal Needle Fiber, asking the band. But allows you to pretty much just pitch anything, including Shaddoll Falco, body on board, another body on board. You also play 3 of the quick play El Shaddoll Fusion. Really great if you're using it during the battle phase, allowing you to fusion off to have more monsters, which really, really great. And then next, I play Super Poly. This deck, whenever they came up with the Destruction deck, includes so many good Super Poly targets, allowing you to pretty much do whatever you want. And it's good against any deck that uses it. Just use Super Poly, and they're bored. Alrighty, that's it for the polymerization cards. Then here we have, for draw power, I use 3 Allure of Darkness. Most of the Shaddolls are dark. And it really helps out with getting more cards into your hand, and banishing them is fine. You can just add them back with Nail Shaddoll. Mind Control, good for going second. Just take control of an opponent's monster and then link it off or fusion it. Really good. Instant Fusion, 1 because they limited it. Makes sense. But good for bringing out Shaddoll. It's good for bringing out the one that pretty much prevents both players from special more than one monster. Use that with this first turn, bring it back out using like things like the other one. Can't think of the moment, but it really helps with that. Foolish Burial, it really helps with sending more Shaddolls to the grave. And I just realized these are all down here. Allows you to pitch one another pitch pretty much in a Shaddoll monster, which is really good, allowing you to then use their effects, then combo off. 1 Pot of Avarice, I would play more, but I think 1 for now is good. And then that's it for the spells. And we only play 2 traps. Just Shaddoll Incarnation. I had a 3rd, I don't know where it went. If I had it, I would definitely play 3. But for now, 2 seems to work, as I do just most of the time just pitch it to the graveyard using most of the fusion abilities. But it's so great, allowing you to special summon it and face up or face down defense fusion if you use it on the field. But in the grave, its effect is so overpowered. Just change 1 face down monster you control to face up, or change 1 face up to face down. Pretty much reusing their abilities multiple times. And that's just what makes this deck really good. Right, next up is the extra deck. Mostly fusion. I do use 2 Link and 1 XYZ. Don't give me hate for it, please. These ones really help. First one that I do, Subterra Behemoth Fiendus. If you choose to want to swarm your board and then fusion them off later, this is probably the way you want to go, as it allows you to send flip monsters from your deck to the graveyard, and then special summon them from your hand to zones he points to. And whenever they're flipped up, you can then do additional effects. So really great in comboing it off with it. And then Shaddoll Construct. Again, I just use it just for the extra fusion in case I need to have more fusions on the board, or in case I just need to have it engrave and then special summon and stuff like that. And to also send more Shaddolls. And then Fortune Tune. Bet you didn't expect that. I discovered, thanks to my friend Luke, who actually showed me its really good ability of shuffling it back into the extra deck if it gets destroyed. Like when this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, either by battle, it doesn't specify, so it can be anyway. If it leaves the field and gets sent to the graveyard, you can target this and target 2 level 3 monsters in the graveyard, which most of the Shaddolls are level 3. You can shuffle them back into the deck and then shuffle this back in the deck, which is great because its main ability is during each of my standby phases, I gain 500 life points, and it cannot be targeted by card effects, meaning Imperm has nothing on this card. Absolutely zip. And if I were to keep it on board for a long time, make sure they couldn't target it, just infinite life points, assuming that you last that long. Alright, that's that for the non-fusions, the borings. Let's get those out of the way. Next up, main card that you probably want to do first off is El Shaddoll Construct. I love its ability that at the start of the damage step, you can destroy your opponent's special summon monster that's fighting, which is really great if you're using it against a higher attack monster, allowing you to keep your body on board You still will take some damage, but your monster will still be on the board. Because the target will be gone, meaning you won't have destroyed your card. Then next up, you're probably also wondering, no imperm in the deck? What? What's going on? That's because Konami made a monster for that, Apocalypse, which has imperm effect on summon, which is amazing. So on summon, you can target one card in the field and negate its effects. But not until the end of turn, just negate its effects, period. Meaning your opponent has Mystic Mine, and you both have the same amount of monsters, use that. Leave Mystic Mine in their field zone, and they can't get rid of it. Especially if they have Field Barrier in the field. And then, of course, if you're going first and you want to make sure your opponent doesn't do anything stupid, Shaddoll Window, which is great because it cannot be destroyed by card effects, and each player, if it's on the field, each player is only allowed one special summon once per turn of monsters, which includes if you're doing a chain of 2 special summon monsters. These are also really good super poly targets, as that most of them don't really involve multiple Shaddolls, except for Apocalypse. Apocalypse requires you to use 2 Shaddolls with different attributes, which you'll probably be using Re-Shaddol, Area Shaddol, or Quad Shaddol for that. And then for the super poly targets, I just use Shaddoll Anoyotilis, whatever, I forget how to say it, but this one, as for going against Mermail. This one, if I'm going against any Earth Rock type decks, including Quilfert, Food Pendulum Quilfert, really good against that. Wendigo against Black Wings maybe, and other like the recent bird, probably even Raid Raptors actually for this. It's really good, high defense. And then Salamangreats, I'm probably going to increase more, but Grista, really good. Which most of the fusions, by the way, if they're sent, if they're summoned, you send a Shaddoll spell or trap from your deck to the graveyard. And most of them, whenever they're destroyed or are sent to the graveyard, allow you to add a Shaddoll spell or trap from your graveyard to your hand. I think Apocalypse is the only one that allows you to send or add a Shaddoll card from your deck to your hand to discard one, which I think is great. And yeah, that is the Shaddoll deck. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll hopefully come up with more videos. Alrighty, please consider liking and subscribing, and consider seeing my friends over at Team NoCo, who, amazing guys, they're the ones that helped me get started with this, and helped me get into Yu-Gi-Oh! So make sure to go give them some love, not in a weird way, please, and just, yeah, enjoy.